All right, almost time. The old box of mystery. I have no idea what is inside this thing. All right. Hello, and a very good evening or afternoon or whatever it might be for you. It is a good day for me because I got a box, and I'm pretty sure I know what's inside. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of magic books. Cool beans. Now, I know. Okay, I gotta preface this whole thing because once upon a time, about 2 years ago, I moved across Canada, and I made a pretty big deal about digitizing a lot of my magic books. I sold off about 2/3 of my library, and the rest got sent away to be destroyed and digitized into ebooks. And so I am now in a place that is, for the foreseeable future, my home, which means I don't need to be all digital anymore. I can start once again getting some physical books. Just so happened this past month, the Fraser Valley Magic Club out in British Columbia, Canada, had an auction to support the Gord McIntosh Fund, which Gord was a friend of mine who used to meet at the PCAM conventions and various conventions on the West Coast. Just a sweetheart of a guy. And his legacy fund allows other magicians who may not have the chance to attend those kinds of events. So the club carries this on. There's this auction, and I love the chance to get some magic books and support the Fraser Valley Magic Club. And I have 3 boxes that should be coming, and this is the first one. So, this is like one of those things, I truly don't know what's inside. I know maybe some of the things that should be inside, but definitely not everything. I have no idea, because it was one of those things where it's like the random old books. That's how you get to me. Tell you, if you ever want to cheat me in an auction, get a stack of like plain paper and put an old book on top. And I'll be like, ooh, what's underneath that? That must be good. Anyway. Clark is accusing me of flexing. I'm not sure what I said that triggered that, but I know Clark is a fan of old books as well, so he'll be delighted. There's probably even cards magic stuff in here. So, good thing you're here, Clark. You can help me figure this out. So this is one of those boxes where it was a box of kind of some random stuff, which I love. Remember one time I helped clean out a magic shop back in Calgary, and I was cleaning out their back room, and I found this box of old books used to belong to Dr. Jack Peters, and they were old books that went back to like the 50s or 60s, and I dug out this box and I took it to the guy running the shop and be like, hey, can I buy this box from you? And I was prepared to pay like $100 for this box of, I don't know, 20 or 30 booklets. And he goes, oh, sure. I don't know, $10? Deal. I love the random box of. Okay, let's get to it. Let's see what is inside. First, we have a bundle under a rubber band of booklets. I love little booklets because you never know, like, every book and every booklet published has at least one good idea in it, or else it wouldn't be published. So the smaller the book, the higher concentration of good ideas. That's how I think about it. We have, some of the Ron Bauer series, the private studies series of Ron Bauer's books. Interesting. Not for resale, review copy. Okay, well, I will review these and get back to you. I have purchased a couple of these Ron Bauer series. The Don Allen Chop Cup in particular is good stuff. Richard Sanders, 3 Ropes and a Baby. That's his Professor's Nightmare routine. Cool. Got Harry Allen's Sleight of Tongue in Cheek, because let me just lay on some Harry Allen lines for you here. After a trick with no applause, you may sit down while the applause dies down. Please stop shouting bravo. After you catch your breath, I'll go on. Hold the applause. Oh, you are. Just some of the gold you can expect coming soon in my act, courtesy of Harry Allen. And Sleight of Lips. What do we got here? You have a ready wit. Let me know when it's ready. If you were alive, you'd be a very sick man. I put a curse on you, but somebody beat me to it. There's a pair of shoes with 3 heels. Gold. Gold. Aha! The old Bizarro is making an appearance. Not just old stuff in here, some new stuff. Cool. Very creative guy. Penguin Magic Monthly. I've never actually seen one of those in person. Interesting. Ooh, more Bizarro. Nice. And more Harry Allen. One more Harry Allen line. I'll read your mind. It's light reading. Goodness gracious. What else have we got in here? Okay, alright. More little booklets. Phantasma Magic Kit booklet. Ooh, another Phantasma Magic. The old magic balloon. Flash paper tips. Tip. Keep away from heat source. It's my flash paper tips for you. Harry Lorraine's Personal Secrets. You know the great thing about a Harry Lorraine book? It's worth the price of the book. That's the best thing. And if anyone is watching this and they see a book that they know that they like, be sure to comment in with your recommendations of something inside. I'll come back later and check them out and make sure I get all the good stuff out of these books. So appreciate any comments about them. What is this? Ooh, there's a classic. Look at this. Perfect Magic, a magic shop in Montreal. He presents David Acker's Quartermain. This must have been the very first edition. This may have even been like David Acker's first published trick. I know this goes back a long ways. Interesting. Comes with gimmicks, I guess. Paul Harris, Inner Circle. I think that's a one-trick booklet. It's like a rubber band. I think a rubber band around the deck, and then it collapses down to be around their card. I think that's what that is. Oh, cool. Dale Salwalk lecture notes. He's the guy who runs the Chavez School of Magic these days. So manipulative magic, which sounds worse than it is. I don't think he's a manipulative guy. The PH Breakthrough. This is, I think, a deck melts down into a card box, I believe is the... Man, Paul Harris was putting out the one-trick releases long before it was popular. He's a trendsetter, that guy. No, Harry Lorraine is the trendsetter. Get my magicians mixed up. Let's see what else is in the mystery box. Ooh, newspaper. I could do a trick with this. What have we got here? Clark is saying our mutual friend Frank would love the Paul Harris stuff. Yeah, I know Frank is a big Paul Harris fan. What have we got here? This looks like something interesting. I don't know what book this is, but it's definitely a photocopied book. So I will just be tossing that in a recycling bin. I'm not a fan of photocopied books or hanging on to them. So that one can be set aside. Some magic printed off the internet. I used to do this all the time when I was growing up in magic. Like Richard Robinson's All Magic Guide. I used to print those off and put them in duotangs, much like this. So this is some old Old magic printed off the Tenkai palm. Interesting. And then, oh yeah, that's another recycling bin. Ooh, signed. This one's autographed. Oh, sorry, hit the microphone. Murray Hatfield, Canadian international star illusionist. His Magic Tricks You Can Do booklet. This is his pitch book from his old show he used to tour with. I know that very well. Autographed by Murray. Petrick and Mia notes. I saw them lecture. That was actually one of my very first magic lectures, was seeing Petrick and Mia. At the time, not at all my jam, but I bet now I could probably come back to it and be like, interesting. Because it's like, just the style of magic at the time was not at all my style of magic, but now it's like visual stuff that actually would probably play pretty well for a camera. So that definitely worth checking out. I mean, this is all worth checking out. Ooh, Cardboard Connection, another Paul Harris item. I think this is the precursor. Yeah, Greg says yeah, Petrick was a genius. Yeah, very clever stuff for sure. And yeah, Dean, it is like Christmas. This is my Christmas. If anyone ever wants to get me a gift, send me a box of random old magic books. Always appreciated. Cardboard Connection, so it's linking cards. And I think this was a precursor to Immaculate Connection, which was released on the New Stars of Magic manuscripts. And I learned that as a kid. I will still perform it at the drop of a hat. It's such a good trick. This is kind of the precursor to it, a little more rudimentary, I think. What else we got? Ooh. Nude Beekeeping Manual. And if you're not a Canadian magician, you've probably never heard of this, because it's by David Merry, who hasn't, I don't think he's gone too far out of Canada, at least not as a magician. He's a stand-up comedian, primarily. Magician, comedian. So his notes on nude beekeeping. We have Michael Amar signed lecture notes from his, looks like a fairly recent lecture tour. The I've Been Everywhere tour. Michael Amar is always good for magic. Ooh, I think I have this, or at least I digitized this one. The Three of Clubs convention. I was talking earlier about meeting Gord. I was definitely meet Gord at the Three of Clubs convention out in the West Coast. So one year they put together a special set of notes with the people who were attending the convention that year. Laughter's the Best Medicine by Robert Baxter. This is a gentleman I've come to know better in recent years because we both hang out an awful lot at the SME Talk Magic group. And Robert is a huge contributor to that group. And so I got to know him a lot better. He has a really... I got his DVD on The Miser's Dream. It's super simple, super practical, like virtually no sleight of hand, which... It's still a solid routine, you know? So I look at it as the best way to get started in Miser's Dream, because it's just drop dead easy and proven practical. So I have not read those notes. I'm so excited. There's very little notes that I've actually read so far, so I'm super keen on all this. Next batch. Aha! Recently passed international president of the IBM, Stephen Bargatze, currently recuperating from a foot injury. So best wishes to Stephen, and I will, actually, I've read these notes. I have these notes, and good stuff. His sponge ball routine, the balls in the net, it's fantastic. He has a thing with the sponge roll routine that fooled me the first time I saw it. So good stuff. Oh, the notes of John Allen, British magician John Allen, close-up Gold Cups winner, I believe. And I met him at the first IBM convention I ever went to in 2000 in Buffalo, New York. And he was pretty young at the time. I don't know that he's much older than me, honestly. And I remember, the thing I remember about John Allen was in the lobby of this hotel, it was like a 3-story ceiling up to the rafters, the steel girder rafters. And I don't know, you know how the young guys at a convention hang out and start to act a little bit like, you know, young guys. He got into the challenge of trying to do card on ceiling on this 3-story ceiling. So all I remember is him whipping the deck of cards at the ceiling and just it falling like into the banquet area and into the, like, just hazardous. It's my memory of John Allen. Also, great magic. Darwin's Theories, Darwin Ortiz. I've actually not read a lot of Darwin Ortiz's material. I know he's a serious card guy, and it'll be interesting to check this out. This talk about personal branding. I could tell immediately this was Bizarro before I could read it. So good work out there. Oh, interesting. Thoughts and ideas from the brain muscle of Eric Buss. I don't know if this is from the same lecture. I don't remember. But I think I saw Eric Buss, who's now, you know, world traveling magician. Well, not right now, nobody is, but you know, appeared on Tonight Show. He had this huge international sensation with the spring snakes, and I think I got to see his first ever magic lecture at the PCAM in Calgary in 1997. I think it was his first time ever lecturing, and I remember him teaching how to do the blockhead, the nail up the nose, and practicing with a Q-tip. And I tried it once, and it just, my whole head just tickled just everything, and I've never wanted to try it again. Now people are getting Q-tips shoved up their face like on the daily. So Eric Buss ahead of his time. Well, which way am I going here? I'm going the wrong way. I've got 2 piles. It's time to find out what's in the box. And yeah, Dean agrees. Steve Bargatze's routine. Every routine he brings to the stage, I think Steve Bargatze, it's the best. His $11 bill trick, the best. Absolutely love it. His straitjacket routine. I mean, there's a ton of straitjacket routines that are great. His is among the best, I'll say that. Go for what's in the box. Here's another guy I've come to know better in recent years, Danny Orleans. And I originally knew him as a corporate guy, lecture on corporate magic. I knew him as a corporate guy. But then I got to know him as a kids performer. And the more I learned about him, the more I realized, like, as I'm researching in old magazines, Danny Orleans is there, and he has been involved in magic and doing so much magic for so long. I think it would be easy to underestimate Danny. He's a very gentle, soft-spoken guy, but man, has he done a heck of a lot in magic. So, a ton of experience. This has got to be a Canadian production. It's by Morrissey Magic, formerly of Toronto. A Ray of Magic by Jimmy Ray. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know anything about him. I've known about everybody else so far. I don't know about this guy, which is possibly the most exciting part of this whole process. Cool. Greg is making. So if you have Steven's notes already, what you gonna do with the duplicate? Asking for a friend. You know what? I'll have to go through this and see what I have digitized already and what I'm willing to give up. I might just give away some prizes. Not here today. I'm not set up for it today, but stay tuned for that. Oh, Greg is saying Jimmy Ray's newspaper tear. let's find out if that's in here. I have this hankering to do a project about digging up so many variations of the newspaper tear. I've been bookmarking them for like a couple of years now. And so if there's a newspaper tear in here, I would be thrilled, chuffed to bits to find a newspaper tear. Let's see, we're talking about close-up magic. Dumb bird. Bermuda Aces. Ooh, the endless chain. I do that. I'll check out his ideas on that. Oh, keto box routine. I don't see a newspaper tear in here. Maybe it was a separate item. But something to investigate. I'll check that out. Thanks for the tip. Oh, Greg said it's the one he's used for years. Excellent. I will definitely check it out. Jimmy Ray's newspaper tear research project. Tom Noddy's bubble magic. Tom Noddy is like the guy who made bubble magic a thing. He is the legend. The Magical World of Stephen Klein. Did he lecture? I know he used to produce tech for conventions. Oh, this is about tech. It's about lighting and about sound. And Stephen definitely knows his stuff on that. Cool. Oh, here's another one I'm pretty sure I have. This is the thing. When I digitize my books, it's hard to keep track of what I have and what I don't have anymore. But the practical magic of Niberco. I don't no idea how to pronounce that. Oh, and we've already seen some from John Allen, the director's cut. Everything named in this lecture is named after classic movies. Hang on, missing the comment. Oh, hey, yeah. Here's Chris. Hey, Chris. Yeah, this is the box from Chris. And it totally shocked me that it arrived today because I think it just shipped on like Friday. So thank you so much, Chris. I'm loving it. Wonderful. I'm just thrilled. So thanks. Yep, those are definitely from his collection. Yeah. Greg's asking if I'm using eCam, technical cam gadget. No, this is just a webcam on my computer using StreamYard to do the broadcasting here, which brings in the live comments. So, yeah, I'm so happy, Chris. Thank you. Oh, hey, Greg was asking about duplicates. We actually have a duplicate here in the box of nude beekeeping. So if you want to get into nude beekeeping, we can definitely hook you up. Comedy balloon hats by Norm Barnhart. I met Norm at a clown convention in Calgary. Very, very talented, multi-talented performer. He does magic, does comedy, does clowning. And Shoma, FISM world champion Shoma, music and magic. I remember seeing this lecture because this is Chris's stuff. He was in Vancouver and I'm in Calgary. But we were basically on the same lecture tour. So a lot of these I remember. As a kid, I was often too broke to buy the notes. So this is like finally getting the notes. This one, another one we already covered, the John Allen and Bizarro. Oh yeah, comedy balloon hats, take 2. We got Cameron Francis. Another guy. I remember his lecture having some pretty cool visual close-up stuff. So awesome. Let's see what else is in the box. Robert Baxter. I think we covered this one as well. I think this is two lots from the auction, I think. So some of them are... Oh, cool. The Magic of Eric Decamp. Is it Decamps, or does he do the French Decamp? I've never... Don't know that I've... Anyway. Compendium 1. That sounds very classy. Copyright 1985. Ooh, Ring and Rope. Definitely check that out. I've been eyeballing Ring and Rope ideas lately. Okay, I got a story about this one. John Fedko was another guy who was at the PCAM in 1997 in Calgary. And Chris was probably at that convention, so why he has these notes. John Fedko was there, and I was very young. I was, this is when I'd been in Magic about 2 years. And I was there with my best bud Donovan. We were both into Magic and hanging out, Magic buddies. And John Fedko was doing this thing where he was making cards just absolutely fly off of deck cards and like hit the back wall of this banquet room. It was just huge, bam, 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 bam thing. Like Jeff McBride, Juliana Chen, but way before I'd ever seen either of them. He's old school. Even at that time, I remember him being a pretty old guy. And he was like, okay, it's this gimmick with it's like a thumb tip with suction cups on it, and it allows you to flick these cards. And Donovan lined up at the booth and paid $15 for this thumb tip with suction cups on it to allow him to shoot cards all over the place. And this is the classic Magic shop, like Magic table thing. Opens up the Ziploc bag, 1 page of instructions, and it comes with the little rubber secretary's thumb, like for sorting papers. Like the little rubber thing with little bumps on it, which is like a nickel at the office supply store. And John Fedko was there selling it for $15 or something. So that's the only story I associate with John Fedko's name. But people are giving good comments here about John Dean is saying John Fedko, practical, creative, amazing stuff and guy. As I said, I was just a kid, didn't get a chance to really talk with him or meet him, and I remember nothing else from the lecture except for that little rubber thumb story. Jay Sankey, 1994. So I have been, in my growing up in Magic, a huge Jay Sankey fan. My first ever lecture notes was Sankey 1996. So this predates that was my first ever Magic lecture. So this predates that by 2 years. So there may actually be things in here that I didn't see from Jay Sankey, except for the fact that he re-releases literally everything he does over and over and over. But yeah, that was 2 years before I met Jay Sankey, and it changed my life pretty much. Well, forget those other ones. I don't need it. This is the best of John Fedko right here. Well, best of John Fedko number 2, so I guess there's other bests still out there. All right, I think there's just one thing left in the box, and it's actually out of this entire stack, this is the only thing that I knew was in here. Because this was a separate thing at the auction. And this, you know what, you love it. The Stars of Magic book, published by Tannins, I assume. And that's it for the box of mystery. But this book alone is a great book. This has got all the Di Vernon, the Ross Bertram, Canadian legend. John Scarney's in here. Like some of the most classic close-up tricks of all time came out of this series. There's another one books that I had, but I loved the opportunity to pick it up again. And yeah, great, wonderful. Like Dean said, it's Christmas here. So, oh yeah, that's right. Chris is reminding me here that this book is from the Steve Dixon collection, and I was thinking about that earlier today when the box arrived, because Steve passed away just recently, not too many months ago. He was a magician in the Vancouver area. And again, another one of those guys I would only get a chance to see during those conventions. And I know everyone in that area of Canada feels the same way, that he just, what a treasure and what a treat he was. I don't know if there's a guy that would sit down at a table, like close-up strolling or you're doing close-up magic. I've never seen anyone sit down at a table and just own that table like Steve Dixon could. Fantastic magician. He's like, oh my goodness, the guy that, like, you just looked at him and he was that the twinkle in his eye kind of guy. You knew he was pretty straight edge most of the time, but he'd get that twinkle, something was up, and he would just absolutely destroy you with his magic. Fantastic performer. So it's an honor to have something from Steve now in my collection. And thanks, Chris, and thanks to the Fraser Valley Magic Club for putting on the auction. And I'm excited because I've got 2 more boxes, probably about the same size, that are going to be arriving soon. And I will do the same thing, because it's just fun. It's fun sharing some stories. Thanks, Dean, and thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. And I'll see what I can do about some of these duplicates in here and sharing the magic. Although, most of the fun is in the surprise. So have a good day. See you next time.